welcome to you. This is Mike Hamilton for Trade the Easy Way, and ahead of us this week we have UK and Aussie rates and US jobs, so it's a pretty busy week in midsummer. So here's my plan. I'm going to probably just sit back and watch the markets on Monday and maybe not trade unless there's a compelling setup. But what I'm looking at here is just to take it easy, let these markets come to me in the first half of the week, because it's Tuesday we got Aussie rates, Wednesday we start to get some US jobs data, and Thursday we've got UK rates, and Friday the big non-farm payroll number. So the reason why I'm looking at this chart first off is because the Nasdaq, the US markets are expensive, but they are still getting bought. So where could they go? Well, this is the fibs on this range. So we had the Brexit drop here into a buy zone, which immediately got, so a couple of days later, or the following week, we started to get bought here. The 50 and the 200 EMA crossed, and then we get this lovely little move up here. So we are right at the early December 15 highs. So what I'm looking for is a potential pushback into a support area of, this is 46.76, and then if this market is bullish, then we could start to reach out for a higher number. So it's a hesitant close on Friday, but nonetheless very bullish. The fact that we held up and we didn't see any selling or any significant selling of note, or the dip in the market on the Friday was bought, and we held up. So it's, if we can hover around here, pull back, and then close above 47.45, then I think we can make a dash for higher numbers. If we just put a sell signal in here on Monday, Tuesday, or we just drift lower and then start closing lower, obviously this is over. So signs for the bears are the fact that we haven't closed above this level here. We do have a potential MACD crossover with a lack of momentum in the MACD, so hence the reason why I think we will need some kind of pullback. You can see here we pushed up nicely here, we spent a couple of days, 2 or 3 days pulling back, and then on must have been Tuesday last week we started to push up. So expecting a similar sort of thing here, consolidation, and then after a consolidation, a little dip into these levels, and then see where we can go from there. So I'm just going to raise this bar a bit, because the main support now is end of December 2015, December breakdown area here. That's now support, so that will put it at 47. The reason why I'm showing you this is because I think Nasdaq is a leading indicator and the other indices are very, very similar. So start losing our way there, and that could tumble over and fall out of that pattern and then start to come back to these levels here. But there is no selling, no sell signal at the moment, so I'm holding fire. So what does that mean for? This is the euro on the euro-US on the weekly chart. You can see, excuse me, we just smacked right into this 50 EMA. So on the daily chart, we've broken above the 200. On the weekly chart, we are right up against that resistance. So what I would suggest is wait and see if 110 holds. So a 70 odd pip, 111. Wait till we get a 75 pip drop to 111, and then see if that can start to come and attack this Brexit higher 114. Okay, so that will be, I think if this is going to step up, that will be the next target. This is the daily. You can see the Brexit breakdown was 113.85, which I will mark. But there we have this trendline resistance up here at 112.73. Okay, so the pullback area is, to me, this low here from 16th of June, which is around the 120 mark, so a little higher than I previously suggested. That makes more sense. If this is going to hold up, watch for that 120 area. The 100 is a possibility as well. Okay, so there's the daily chart. Sorry, it's a different color, black. There's the chart closing above all the moving averages here, but I still think that needs a pullback. Alright, pound yen. The yen pairs saw a lot of buying in the yen, and this pound is looking, we've got this trend line stepping down, looking as if we could come and at least see 134. It's very bearish. We closed lower on the week, so I've got to say that any high in the week could get sold into. But again, if we're holding the round figure of 135, this is a fib level here. Actually, you can't see that, but this mark here is my 76.4 fib, and this is obviously the the main marker here. So I'm looking to see if we can just dip underneath this level, hold 133, and then potentially move back. But I fully understand. If I'm honest, very honest with my look at the charts, that is a lower close and highs are selling into that. So stick with what you're seeing, and at the moment we are seeing lower closes. But I'm just standing back and waiting to see how 135 is handled by the market. I'm interested in the US dollar CAD. You can see we are closing on this weekly. This is a weekly chart. 50 EMA is held. If we come back and into this support here, I think we could at least come up to the top of this line. So oil is weak, so the US dollar is holding up very well against the Canadian dollar. It is a lower close. It's a red bar on this weekly chart, but it's marginal, and I would look to see if 129, 129.50 can get bought at the lows. Okay, and on the daily chart, you can see the support line clearly. Let me just redraw that a little, because that's sloppily drawn. I do not like sloppily drawn trend lines. Right, so I'm looking for the US dollar CAD to dip into 129, 129.50. If that holds, we could have a hammer-like bar created on this trendline support and then see us come up to 135. Okay, let's look at a couple of other pound pairs. I think this pound's overdone. If you look at this channel, so on the weekly chart, we spent a couple of weeks testing this channel, 3 and 4 weeks back, and last week we closed higher. If now go to the monthly chart, and what you see a nice, very neat, flat hammer. So if we dip into 131 and hold, where am I going to draw this from? No, that's not what I wanted to draw. What I did want to draw is that. So if we come into something like 130 or that kind of area and hold, and then subsequently break up through 135, I think we could come up to the Brexit highs again. So I'm looking for a reversal in this pound. Let's go back to the weekly. Whoops, that's not worked. So let's go back to the weekly. Higher close in the weekly. In fact, we engulfed last week's, the previous week's bar in terms of open and close. We didn't engulf it in terms of the highs and the lows. So I think we are inside this channel, holding up, seeing some weakness in the dollar, but don't forget we've got UK rates, so if they do drop the rates, then this could just come down to 130 and break, and then at least retest the lows and potentially come down to 120. So my best advice is to wait, don't do anything on Monday, sit tight, and then wait and see if this is going to short. If it is going to short, then ideally you'd want to see at least 450, 135, or another. Just keep an eye on last week's high. That's already showing to be quite a crucial pivotal level. Okay, so I'm just taking it very easy on Monday. I'm watching the US dollar CAD. I've got a resistance level of 76.50 on the Aussie US. I'm going to look to see if that gets tested and it gets sold into on Monday ahead of Aussie rates on Tuesday. Be careful of that because it can be very volatile potentially. But just letting the market come to me. It's summer. We're going to let these markets set up. Potentially it's going to be the second half of the week we're going to see the action, not the first half of the week, as we get into this keynote data, and that's going to be the better opportunities. So be careful out there. Be aware of the lower volumes we've got in this time of the year, and I will update you best I can as the week unfolds. As for the room, I will take a look at the pound at 9:30 tomorrow, but I will not be there at the open. Yeah, I'm just happier just to trade the reaction to the news and not the news. Therefore, I'm going to wait till the news is out of the way on Monday morning. So it's 9:30 start. All right, thanks very much, and I will, on Traders Round Table, I'll be going into stocks. All right, thanks very much. Bye.